We don't have a sponsor. You're good for water, whatever. We don't care.
Yeah. Game time set.
Yes. 6 and 8:30.
Do we have to take this off?
No, don't. You said we're good.
Gonzaga's
No
at
sponsor.
6. BYU St. Mary's at 8:30.
On
Monday?
Monday?
Yeah.
Just late games, man. Gosh. We're getting some big scores tonight.
Congratulations. In the 4th West Coast Conference men's basketball quarterfinal game, 2nd seed St. Mary's defeats 10 seed Pepperdine 69-66. With the victory, the Gales are on to the semifinals. They'll take on 3 seed BYU at 8:30 p.m. Monday night on ESPN2. We're joined by St. Mary's head coach Randy Bennett, along with student athletes Jock Landale, as well as Calvin Hermanson. Coach Bennett, we'd like to start with you, please, an opening statement on the win.
Yeah, we'll take it. That's my statement. It wasn't pretty and definitely wasn't smooth, but we'll take the win. Pepperdine has been playing well, and those are tough games. There's a lot of pressure on them. I don't think we handled it very well. I wasn't particularly happy with how we played, but I was happy that our guys stayed together, stayed the course, did the things you talk about, that leadership-wise, and our seniors stepped up, I thought, when we needed them to, and we were able to escape.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take questions from media members. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll get a mic. Student athletes first, please, and please identify yourself. Rusty.
Rusty Simmons from the San Francisco Chronicle. Calvin, after a tough start, can you tell us about that sequence where you hit 3 threes in a row?
Obviously the game wasn't really going our way tonight, but you know, like Coach said, we just stayed together and kept believing, and I think that was just a prime example of, you know, grinding through the storm, and you know, shots ended up going down at the end when we needed them, and you know, that was a big run for us, and you know, credit my guys for staying positive around me when I wasn't hitting shots earlier.
Additional questions for student athletes? We'll go to John.
Hi, John Crumpacker, West Coast Conference Sports. To Jock, we've seen it in this tournament also with the lower seeds really putting up a fight. Did you expect a game like this from the 10th seed, and given the season that Pepperdine has had?
Yeah, I think it's something that we have to expect, because our conference this year has become a lot more competitive, and you don't just see it with the teams we go up against. I mean, everyone that Gonzaga plays them pretty close, and I think, yeah, Coach said it. We should have done a way better job tonight of expecting them to play their best game, and I think they played pretty decent overall. And yeah, I think, as I said, I think it's just something we have to expect. We can't ever come in half-assed and expect that things are just going to be easy for us.
Go to Rusty in the front.
Jock, you've seen every form of double team that there is. What'd they do tonight to hold you to 10 attempts?
Nothing that we haven't seen before. They doubled off. I think they doubled off Emmett, and teams have done that to us before, and we embrace that. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know, Calvin started hitting shots down the stretch for us, and I mean, it leaves a 2-on-1 somewhere on the court. We just have to exploit it. So. Yeah, we embrace that, and we kind of, you know, if teams do that to us, that's fine by us. But I think in the past we haven't done as good a job of finding the 2-on-1. But tonight I think we really did it well in the second half.
Other questions, student athletes or Coach Bennett? Spencer.
Spencer McLaughlin, KSU. Calvin, you guys started 2 of 13 from the floor in the first half. What adjustments did you make offensively to be more efficient the rest of the game?
I think we noticed that they started doubling Jock down low, and the thing about Jock is he's known for his scoring and rebounding and whatnot, but I think he's one of the best passing big men in the country. So when the ball goes down low to him and they double, he does an amazing job of finding the open guy, and if he's not getting the assist, that play's going to lead to an extra pass and find an open shooter, and we played through him, and good things happen.
Sammy.
Sammy O'Brien with the W.TV. Randy, you guys just faced Pepperdine just towards the end of this season there. What do you think the biggest difference is between that team and the team you saw tonight?
They've changed who they're playing off of. They're going with the two. They're going with their two four-man on the floor a lot, and they're playing off those mismatches. So that's what they're doing different, and so it puts Jock in a situation where he's got to guard Dunn, and they'll play off the bounce, and they pose some problems that way. So I think they've gotten their better scorers and out there on the floor more minutes. So they were playing a lot more off of Colby Ross and Attaway, and I think they've kind of adjusted that. So they did a good job. They're much harder to guard that way.
Rusty?
Coach, there were a couple times tonight where you guys were struggling to score a little bit, and Jordan kind of went on some flurries. How big was his game tonight?
It's huge because we did not start out well. He had some battling a cold thing, so he was hacking up, and they had to take him out. I didn't even know he came out, but it affected us. And then when he came back in, it just gave us. It was a pretty impressive performance on his part to come in. We're down. I don't know what we're down 16. He just came in, started making baskets, making plays, and he's guarding probably arguably their best player the whole game. I thought he bailed us out first half. I thought Jock was pretty steady, and then I thought Calvin bailed us out at the end. Emmett was steady too, but we need, if we're gonna advance in this tournament any further, we're gonna have to play better. We're gonna have to have more guys play well.
Anything else? We'll go to Jay in the back row, and then John up here to wrap it up.
Randy, a year ago, you guys beat BYU in a semi by 30 some odd points. How has BYU changed this year as opposed to last year?
Well, I mean, some of their personnel's changed, right? They don't have Mika, thank goodness. But so they play. I think they've changed defensively. I think offensively they play. They're more deliberate than they were. I think before they would play. They'd play more up tempo before. So they're more half court. I think the shot selection is pretty good, and then I think defensively they've improved. Definitely improved from what they were last year defensively. So that's kind of what I felt like when we played them in the first two games. We played them in January, I think. It was the last time we played them. So we haven't seen them in a while. Maybe early February. I think it's January, though. So we haven't seen them in a while. I haven't watched them on film, and we'll go back and watch now. So
Come up to John here, final question.
Jock, I'd like to get your thoughts on playing BYU from the players' perspective. What's your impressions of them?
I mean, we already know it's going to be a really tough game for us. And these guys, they've got two really good guards in Hawes and Bryant, and then Childs down the post is really good. So they're going to play us physical down low through the 4 and 5, and we have to step up and guard them because we know that they can go on massive runs because they're such an offensive weapon. So I think that it's going to be a really tough game for us, but I back our guys to get the job done.
Congrats on the win. We'll see you Monday night.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. See you soon. Yep, see you soon. Thank you, thank you. One more to go. Oh, did they just change something? That's, I mean, as long as it's something. Edwards, he said, no, he said Edward Solo. I think he was saying he was summoning them to get going. That's how I'm reading that. But Edward Solo. Perfect. Edwards, period. Perfect. Excellent. All right. Good, good, good. And then, yeah, totally. Well, again, the best thing BYU did was this Sunday off. It's incredible because we didn't used to have it, and like we used to end on the Monday, but we'd go Sunday, Monday, and it's just, I mean, tomorrow's a godsend. And in many years, tomorrow's awful daylight savings time. At least, thank goodness, it's next week. It's like sometimes we lose the hour too, and it's like, really? And there were, I mean, when I first started here, there was no BYU, and it was daylight savings. So we'd have games tomorrow and lose an hour, and it's like, what? Yeah, yeah. All right, here they go. Yeah, we're good. Thank you. Joining us now is Pepperdine head coach Marty Wilson, along with student athletes Cameron Edwards. Coach Wilson, we'd like to begin with you, please, an opening statement.
Tell you what, I'm got a lot of respect for our guys. A lot of respect for our guys. We've talked about it throughout the year, just of dealing with adversity. How do you handle adversity when things don't go your way? Throughout the whole year with all the injuries, 5 concussions, and 2 labrum tears with shoulder surgeries, fractured ankle, who knows what else we've had. But our guys have been professional. They've come to work every day. They've been coachable. I told them in the locker room, that's their character. Because they could have easily quit. And for us to battle St. Mary's, who's a great team, very disciplined team, our guys showed what they're made of. They showed what they're made of, and I told them I couldn't be more proud of them.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take questions from media members. I'd like to start with questions for Cam Edwards first, please. We'll get a mic to you. If you have a question, raise your hand and let us know name and affiliation first. Start with John.
John Crumpacker, West Coast Conference Sports. Cameron, your coach just talked about your team. What would you like people to know about your coach?
He's just a really caring man, cares about each and every one of us, and he shows us that every single day. He's just very respectable, and I mean, we enjoyed being around him. He was tough on us, but at the same time, he was like a father figure to a lot of us, so a lot of us enjoyed playing for him, and he really cared about us, and it showed. So that's something I really appreciate.
Go to Kyle over here on our left.
Kyle Cajero, Pepperdine Graphic. Last night, I was here, and you guys were saying that in order to keep pace with St. Mary's, you need to be the more disciplined team. You guys caused 15 turnovers to your guys' 6. What was it like playing defense out there? What were you seeing? I guess out there on that front.
Well, in the first half of the last 2 times we played them, we gave up 40-something each time. So we knew in the first half we had to really be solid and not let them go over 40. So that's something that we did today, and we were just really dialed in. We kind of knew what was coming this time around, so we just were really locked in.
Other questions for Pepperdine? John, then Kyle.
Marty, I realize it's just minutes after the game ended, but what thoughts do you take away about your time at Pepperdine and whatever might come next for you?
Well, I've got nothing but great thoughts. People might look at it as not being successful. And it depends on your definition of success. And when you give it your all, as a staff, as a team, as a program, it's all you can ask. Told our guys that we didn't fail. We did not succeed. And obviously it just comes down to winning. But what we did, how we did things, looking back, we did a lot of great things in the 7 years. A lot of great things. And we shared with our guys and said, hey, I'm a Pepperdine guy. We're all connected. We're going to be connected forever through Pepperdine. And told them I want to be involved. It's not just a transaction for them to play for us. Okay. We're going to be a part of their lives, hopefully for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And we want them to lean on us for advice, as I have with some of my coaches and mentors for the last 30 plus years, because that's the type of relationships we've built. So I'm changing addresses, but I'm still a Pepperdine guy. My whole family's Pepperdine people. We got 4 degrees from Pepperdine. Okay, that's not going to change. In terms of what's next, I don't know. I'll stay in coaching if I can. That's the plan. I'll take some time, get away a little bit. Actually, our staff, we're going to come back here next week and watch some of the tournaments, all 3 of the tournaments, and just get out and network and meet and spend some time and watch some other coaches stress out for a little while. And then just watch what happens. Obviously, March and April, changes happen. There'll be a lot more, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Last question, Kyle.
Can you briefly talk about your seniors, Amadi Udini and Matthew Attaway, especially how they played tonight on both ends of the floor? What are you going to take away most about coaching them?
Well, I just told Amadi mainly because Amadi's been with me for 5 years. Tell you what, he's been through more physically than anybody I can imagine. And for him to recover from knee surgery, 2 Achilles, concussions, and just the daily nagging injuries of being a 5th-year guy, but the drive and the motivation that he has to want to come back and to want to compete and fight, I told him I got a great deal of respect for him. Matthew Attaway, obviously only having him for 1 year, and obviously disappointed because I think we could have pulled more out of him had we had him before, but that's part of the process. He grew throughout this year. Again, some of the places he's been, he didn't have the opportunity to play as much, but he had the opportunity. I mean, we tried to showcase him sometimes in the post, and there's some games he delivered. And we told all of our guys we're going to be around for them. Okay, if the seniors, if they want to look to try to play somewhere, they can have anybody call us. We'll reach out and do whatever we can for them. Obviously, their college careers are over, but they're going in the real world now, and that's part of the process for us. Is eventually the ball is going to stop bouncing, and we tell those guys all the time, there's life after basketball. So they're going to have their degrees from Pepperdine, and they're going to be able to do some things other than just play basketball. So we'll be around to help them with that. And we just thank them all, even Kevin Hempy, who's in law school. We thanked him for his 2 years of being around, although he didn't play a whole lot. Tell you what, he gave his heart and soul to our program.